What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Well, I'm still here. How's everybody doing? Um, the delays, what's been going on? Well, busy working on some ideas and working on some stuff for the merchandise. So that's been taking up a lot of my time at times. But yeah, guys, I'm here because I wanted to talk about this um, because some of you guys probably don't get to see my reactions as much. You don't get to see it right now. Computer's still in the shop. No word yet on when it's coming, when it'll be back soon. So bear with your boy. Bear with your alpha, okay? But basically, guys, I'm here to talk about my thoughts on Streets of Rage 4. When we got word that Streets of Rage 4 was coming, I thought it was a joke. But if you are someone who remembers Streets of Rage, if you're not even just Streets of Rage, if you are a person who grew up loving side-scroll beat-em-ups from back in the day, the early 90s, the 80s, then you're like me. And when Streets of Rage came along, it was Sega's answer to Capcom's Final Fight. And in doing so, it spawned three sequels. It spawned three games, excuse me. And I had every last one. I still have them, actually. But I don't have them for the Genesis anymore. Now, if you are from the States and so, it was called Streets of Rage here. If you're in Japan, it was called Bare Knuckle. Had a nice ring to it. But the game focused on the concept of there was this crime syndicate called the Syndicate, led by Mr. X. And he was a Tommy gun wielding olive green suit gangster. And you had the choice of three ex-cops: Axel Stone, Blaze Fielding, and Adam. I'm forgetting Adam's last name. But they were three ex-cops. And their job was to take down Mr. X. Follow the second game, it continued. The second game became more of a rescue mission. It was Mr. X getting revenge on the three young ex-cops. So they kidnapped Adam. Adam's brother was in this one, as well as a friend of Axel, who was a big wrestler called Max. Fast forward 2 years later, 1994, we got Streets of Rage 3, which a lot of people didn't really like. I have a cousin that didn't really like it, but it introduced a lot of interesting things for it. The game was a little bit more fast-paced. They introduced a run system. Weapons could be charged up and used. The game seemed to flow a little bit better. And Mr. Shiro, who did the music score, Streets of Rage is still considered one of the highly most listened to soundtracks, especially Part 2, since. And now, 24 years later, we get a legit sequel. 24 years. Think about that for 24 years later. We're starting to see in the gaming community now, we're starting to get now returns from the greats. Returns, sequels of characters we've been wanting to see. This was a shock to me, but not just that. I mean, we're getting a Mega Man 11, the original Mega Man. Not a fake. We're getting the original Mega Man game, Mega Man 11. We're getting the next true sequel to Devil May Cry in Devil May Cry 5. Now this. And the difference that we see so far is the style in terms of the animation style. It has more of an anime style to it. We can see that also from the instant, we only see two playable characters, meaning we only got Axel and Blaze. And that kind of interests me right there. When I saw that, I was like, no, wait, whoa, we're only getting those two? What about bringing Adam back? What about an older Skate? Or Max? Or, no, don't bring Dr. Zan back. I don't, Shiva. I don't know. Maybe Shiva's turned over a new leaf because you could play with him in the other games. But this being a true sequel, the style of it, the concept of, okay, where does this game take place? Also, who's the major villain now? I think we saw the major villain. It seems like she's a female, but it does make you wonder about a lot of other things, a lot of other aspects of this game in terms of how old the characters are. For example, we see in this game Axel now has a full beard. He's fully bearded. So it makes me wonder if doing your research and I do my research and do kind of the calculations a little bit. In Streets of Rage 1, they were in their early 20s. I think Axel was 20, 21, 22. The next game, he was 23. The next game, being that it took place 2 years after the second game, I'm guessing maybe Axel was 25 or so. Correct me, guys, a little bit. But if doing the research from my calculations of Streets of Rage 3 to Streets of Rage 4 now, being that this is 24 years later, and hopefully they're going with the real timeline, Axel should be damn near 50 years old now. He should be 20, 40, 49. 49, at least him and Blaze should be in their late 40s. I'm just speculating on it. But it does make me speculate, okay, are there going to be other characters in this game? Other characters, will there be other characters? Will there be DLCs to bring in new characters? Is there a story mode, or is it just a straight beat 'em up? Who is the main villain? There are a lot of things and a lot of aspects to this game I want to hear about. But all in all, this is just great news because of the fact that one of my favorite beat 'em up games when I was growing up has returned, and nobody would have thought this would happen. We saw many times that there was supposed to be a sequel. This was one of Sega's childs, in a sense, that helped Sega grow. Sega was always, in a sense, the king of the arcades, but when it came to the home consoles, they needed a gem outside of just Sonic. They got it with Streets of Rage. And with Streets of Rage, like I said, there was supposed to be, like when Sega brought out the Sega Saturn, there was going to be a Streets of Rage game for that. There's images online. Google it. Type in Streets of Rage Sega Saturn. You'll find a beta for what the game was going to look like. There was always going to be another Streets of Rage, and just now, guys, we're now getting it, and it's really cool to see. I'm very excited for it. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I heard people play it at PAX, and they say it runs smoothly. It's really cool. There are some things they need to work out, but other than that, it's really, really cool to see. But the fact that we're getting a Streets of Rage 4, man, you couldn't be more excited about that. I'm just hoping there are more characters. And there are rumors that this is just going to be a Switch game. If that's true, no, please don't. Please don't let this just be a Switch game. Let this be multi-platinum. But Streets of Rage 4. How many of you guys can remember when you first played the first game? I can go back to when I first got the first game, actually. It was Christmas, 1991. One of them. I got that along with the Genesis, which came with Sonic the Hedgehog, and got that too. Remember how the Genesis games used to come in like those big boxes, black boxes, and you open it up, the game was securely in like the shape of the cartridge. It just takes me back, man. It just takes me back. And then 2 comes out, and 2 became like probably my favorite out of the games. Just that initial first first stage, still, that music alone gets you all the time. But, guys, that's all I wanted to talk about, guys. You guys tell me in the comment section below, what do you think about Streets of Rage 4? And this is your Alpha. I'm Vernon Kid saying peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real. I want to hear what you guys think. Leave your input in the comment section below, my pack. Please do that. Please like, share, thumbs up, do what you want to do. I'll take care. I'm out.